batting off my head just a little bit. All right. Just bring you up just a smidgen. Right there. I think right there is pretty good. There we go. That's still... Today I want to talk to you guys about something that, well, one, just happened yesterday on the Bobo, and two, I've kind of seen this taking place over the course of the last month, maybe 2 months. And I think that this is a really important topic to share here on After Prison Show because it relates, and it can relate, to guys coming home from prison and trying to find a place of their own. When guys come home from prison, everybody's got a different living situation wherever you're going to live, whether it's a halfway house, homeless shelter, living with your prison girlfriend or your prison pen pal, or maybe your mom or family. Everybody's situation is different, but one thing is for certain, well, at least I feel like this. You know, every guy and gal wants to come home from prison and eventually be able to get their own place. And if you're anything like me, you're going to learn that that is a lot easier said than done. Forget the money and the credit. You know, your criminal record can definitely come into play, and it can hinder you. It can definitely stand in your way, and it can stop and block you from being able to get your own place. Wow, this feels weird. There's a lady walking a little dog, and she's looking dead at me, windows wide open. When I came home from prison, this was a situation that I definitely ran into myself because of my charges. I had drug sale charges, and two things that selling drugs and having those type of charges are gonna definitely hinder you from is probably the ability to collect any type of food stamps, which I actually tried to do when I came home from prison. When I came home from prison, Vine was still a thing, the social media thing, Vine. And I was actually starting to do not only After Prison Show 5 years ago, I was also trying to do After Prison Show on Vine. And I'll never forget this one video. I wish I had it, but I made a video about me calling social services, trying to get food stamps, and I got denied because of my criminal record, because I had drug sale charges. And I know that there's some kind of loopholes with that, so maybe some guys could get the food stamps or whatever, but I couldn't get those. Another thing that you will definitely have a problem with is trying to get your own place. And most certainly, I dealt with that. The point of this video is I want to share with you guys a scam that I tried to expose this scam to a certain degree yesterday. That's also what my hope is with this video, to try to further expose this scam that's taking place. I want to share with you guys a conversation that I had with who I consider to be a scammer. It's a very crazy conversation. If you guys saw the Bobo recently where we actually were engaging in this conversation, you know how crazy this conversation is. How many times can I say conversation right there? But my hope with this is that it makes people aware, if you're coming home or if you've got bad credit or if you just can't get a place, you need to be made aware of this, because this is something that people are doing. I'm starting to see it more frequently, and basically what it is, it's taking advantage of people who are in a vulnerable situation. Their credit's jacked up, they got a criminal history, they can't get their own place, they can't get a car, they can't get any type of financing, and there's many people out there who will try to make you believe that they can help you with this, and all you got to do is pay them to do this. And I want to let you guys know right now, this ain't legit, this ain't legal, it cannot be legal, and it's a scam. Now, to go a little bit further with this, when I first started getting wind of this scam, I'm a part of another prison Facebook group. I think it's called like Prison Reform Movement or something along those lines, but it was on that page on Facebook where I saw somebody posting that they had just gotten scammed from a person trying to do what I'm getting ready to share with you guys here today. And luckily enough for them, all they did was send $250 and they got ghosted and blocked, and the person didn't do anything. And I know that that sounds bad, but trust me, if they go through with what they're telling you they could do, even if it leads to you getting your own place, it could lead to you getting locked up. Oh wow, there's a car right there and that woman's just, how you doing? Okay, so enough with all of that. What does this scam actually entail? I'm seeing this on Facebook. I'm seeing this on Craigslist. Actually, I haven't seen it on Craigslist. I imagine it's on Craigslist, but I'm definitely seeing it on Facebook in the marketplace. And God, I hope, I got blocked by this person yesterday, but I'm hoping that and I know that I've got this saved. If you get blocked, does it automatically? It does. Dang it. It does, but I still have the conversation from this. So I'll share that with you guys. Okay. I ran across this ad on Facebook Marketplace that says, great news if you're trying to get an apartment, or something along those lines. They said, do you got bad credit, criminal record, any of that sort of stuff, and you can't get an apartment, you can't get your own place, you can't get an auto loan? Well, if you do, I can help you. They wanted $250. That's what they wanted. Now, I would engage in a conversation with this person that would definitely turn south pretty quickly. I'll share with you guys that conversation. But before we get to that, what do they actually do? How the hell can they actually help you get a place? And initially, what I thought this was going to be was maybe they're going to co-sign on an apartment application for you, a loan application, and if they're doing that, they running the risk again. Their credit's seriously jacked up if you default on any of that. But then again, maybe the money's worth it. $250 to co-sign something? Maybe that's what was going on, but that's not what was going on. And what I would learn from the conversation that I had with this person is this is what they're doing. Let me just go ahead and start sharing with you guys the conversation, and we'll break down what they were selling for $250. Which is a scam. And I'll share with you guys why it is. Okay, now mind you folks, I got blocked by this person. This really turned ugly. And I'm gonna share with you guys the entirety of this. There'll probably be some beeps and some blurs and things like that in this, but at least you guys will learn what it is that these people are trying to do, or what they're gonna tell you they're gonna do, and don't do this. I'll also share with you guys at the end of this video some thoughts that I have and some ideas that I have for anybody out there who is in desperate need of trying to find their own place but can't because of either credit or because of a criminal record. I can barely read what this profile picture says. I've been blocked. I can't even open it up, but the gist of it says, please read the full post beforehand. Need help getting an apartment? Judgments? Bad credit, felonies, or don't make 3 times the rent? I can help you. Just inbox me. I have specials going on right now. The COVID special taking place right now. $250, and this could land you in a world of shit. PSA, public service announcement. I am not going to find you a home, nor am I a realtor. I only help get your foot in the door if these things are an issue for you. Thank God we were able to see that, because that's what the posting said. It was like 2 pictures. One said, good news, I can help you get a place. And then the second one was that text right there. So I messaged this person and I said, hi, I saw your ad for apartment help. I need help. Can you help me? Now, ironically enough, this person would never go look at my Facebook profile, which I thought if they did would definitely let them know that I wasn't serious about this. But for whatever reason, they must have not. When I responded to this ad, it took them 2 days to get back to me. And when they finally got back to me, they said, do you have any judgments, felony convictions, or bad credit? I would respond saying, I've got some felonies. Can you help me? They would respond saying, yes. We were also doing the Bobo when all of this took place as well. And it was pretty wild, this entire engagement, and you'll see why. I said, okay, what do I need to do and how can you help me? Folks, we are fishing for an expose of a scammer. They would reply saying, I can get you a CPN. Now, I don't know what the hell a CPN is. Isn't that a certified public, what is it? A CPN? I thought it was something else entirely. Maybe a nurse, practitioner nurse. What does a CPN stand for? Doesn't it personal network? I had no idea what this person was talking about, so I would just simply respond, what is a CPN? They would respond to me saying, a CPN is a credit profile number. It's what you use in replace of your social security number when applying for houses, loans, or cars. It also helps you get utilities if you need it for that also. Folks, this sounds like some dark web type of stuff. This sounds like they're going to get us a brand new identity. I wanted to ask this person if they could help me get a passport, since even though I've gotten my rights restored, I've learned that I'm probably in all likelihood never going to be able to leave the country, and again, because of my drug sale charges.
3 things it seems like that part of my past is going to hinder me with probably for the rest of my life. Trying to get an apartment, trying to get food stamps, and also getting a passport. And I can't believe that this person was just talking about this so freely on Facebook Messenger. The gall of this person. I would respond saying, I've never heard of any of this before. Is this legal? I figured asking if this was legal was going to be enough for this person to bounce, but it wasn't. They would reply one word, yes. Okay, sounds good enough. Sign me up. Okay, well, what do I have to do? I would respond. I only need your first and last name and date of birth. I give you a complete start over and you apply with just your first and last name. Are you going to be able to create an entirely new identity for me and only for $250? I've never seen this nor know anybody who's ever done this or could do this out here in the real world. I've only seen this on TV, and it seems like it would cost you a hell of a lot more than $250 for all of this. But again, I'm very skeptical of this, and I'm also getting a little worried. This is some red flag stuff for real, so I would respond saying, I don't know, this seems fishy. And folks, that was when the entire can of worms, no pun intended, fishy can of worms, that was not funny. But my skepticism would certainly lead to a major clapback that would follow as such. Listen, I don't care. You asked for help, and I'm doing that. You a whole felon. Oh my God. I'm not just a half felon. This chick called me a whole felon. I've never been called that before in my life. A felon, a convict, gangster AF, but a whole felon, folks, that sounds like some fresh ass After Prison Show merch on the way. APS Army After Prison Show on the back, a whole felon. Listen, I don't care. You asked for help and I'm doing that. You a whole felon out here. You going to be turned down over and over. And I'm helping you. They actually put the letter N, not I-N. I wanted to mention that, but I didn't want to be like the grammar police or anything. And I'm helping you play them. At the end of the day, you need help, not me. You're going to definitely need some help if the federales ever get wind of this, and I hope that they do. You should be exposed for this, and this is wrong. And again, I'm surprised that this chick didn't look at my Facebook profile. I mean, there's a whole Tesla on that. And a whole flip house, or 2, and another house, but no flex. You need help, not me. I know what to do in this situation. I get so tired of helping WGEN. I don't know what that was supposed to be, and forgive me for what I'm getting ready to say, but it'll make sense later. I think she meant to say white folks, Wiggins. I don't know what she was going for right there, but trust me, just let me finish. I get so tired of trying to help WGEN. I don't have to. It's literally over 1,000 people inboxing me. 1,000 times $250 is $25,000, I believe, right? Or is it $250,000? It's $250,000. It's, you know what? 1,000. $250,000 this chick's got sitting in her inbox. And I just feel bad because I know that there's people who are going for this. But hopefully if you're watching this video, you won't fall for this and you'll be made aware of this, and maybe you can make somebody else aware of this, and maybe we can shut this whole shit show down ASAP. There's over 1,000 people inboxing me with their issues that's trusting my process. If it worked for me and them, it will work for you. Reason I said I don't apply with old information is because it's linked to your public record. So all I do is make you a new email and relist you in the public records as the same you, but a clean slate plus more. My uncle a felon. And even he came to me for help too. And even though the clapback was real right there, I want to say this. It doesn't really sound all that bad. You're just going to create me a new email and relist me in public records. But you still got to create that CPN, that whatever you said that stood for, that credit profile number, which essentially is going to be an entirely new social security number. We'll get to that in a little bit. I would try to clap back a little bit myself with my response. And I said, well, and mind you, she called me a whole felon. Talking about I need her. She don't need me. She's got 1,000 people in her inbox. I didn't want to be too abrasive, so all I said was, wow, you sure are a meanie for a scam artist, all caps. And folks, that's when we would reach our climactic end. She would respond to me saying, first off, bitch, y'all white folks suck ass. I knew that WGEN thing was going in that direction, but whatever. And that's why I don't want to help none of y'all. Oh, that stings. That stings. But you are a scam artist, and I don't know why the race thing had to pop up in here. Not only did she say what she said there, she also said, can you get a crib in your effing name, fat ass? That stings worse than anything else. She called me fat. Like, how would she even know that I'm fat? How would she even know that I'm fat if she hasn't seen my profile? And if she's seen my profile, I don't look fat in my profile. I might look fat in these videos. From the side, I look pretty fat. But I don't know why she had to throw my weight into this. I'm very sensitive about that. Can you get a crib in your effing name, fat ass? Nah. Again, the whole Tesla, but whatever. Now, F off. And that was the end, folks. And then I was blocked. I can't believe she went with the weight, though. Anything else, you could have called anything, but the weight? Okay, so while we were doing the Bobo when this conversation was taking place and the climactic end was pretty climactic on the Bobo, I was looking up as much information as I could about a CPN. And what I found out was she called it a credit profile number. I found an article that says credit privacy number. A CPN is a scam, not a solution. So again, that's why I was already knowing that this was a scam. And then again, from the other Facebook group where I saw a guy that had fallen for this, they took his $250 and they ghosted him. And like I mentioned, at least that was all they did. At least he was only out the $250 and not out the $250 plus potentially running the risk of getting some new charges. I want to share a little bit of this article with you guys. A credit privacy number, or CPN, is a 9-digit identification number similar to a social security number. A CPN is sometimes marketed to consumers with bad credits as a path to a fresh credit history. Companies offering CPNs say they can be used instead of a social security number on applications for credit. If you're considering buying a CPN, also known as a consumer profile number, a credit profile number, or a credit protection number, don't do it. Some CPNs that have been sold have been dormant social security numbers belonging to children. You could unwittingly become involved in identity theft. And you could end up in prison if you fill in a form requesting your social security number with a CPN. Lying on a credit application, identity theft, something along those lines. So think about this. You're coming home, you're struggling trying to get a place, you run across an ad on Facebook saying for $250 they can create for you a CPN and you'll be good to go. You can get all the houses, apartments, cars, and whatever else you want because you got a fresh, clean slate and your information's been relisted in the public record, as that chick was trying to tell us she would do. Among the things you may be asked to do, get a driver's license with a different address, change your phone number, and get a new email address. She told us she was going to create a new email address for us. You will also be paying for the digits you may be hoping to use in place of your own social security number. Request such as those should be a giant red flag. The Federal Trade Commission has warned against companies offering a new credit identity by selling CPNs, calling it a scam. Now, one final thing that I want to mention from this article is something else that they might try to do for you or ask you to do on your own. And that is, well, they say, don't believe any company that asks you to apply for an employer identification number, an IEN, an EIN. Joe be dyslexic sometimes. Folks, when you start your own business and you become an LLC or a sole proprietorship or an S corporation, C corporation, whatever, when you start your own business, not only do you do all of that, you also get you a tax identification number or an employer identification number. And that's for your business taxes, and then you've got your personal taxes, which are under your social security number. And it's not hard to apply for an EIN. And I'm not trying to tell you to do this. I'm telling you absolutely don't do this and use this instead of your social security number, because you know that EIN number will come up clean. It'll come up with no credit, and I guess that's better than a judgment or, you know, felonies or whatever, which I'm sure they could still find that you've got felonies. But the crazy thing about it is if you tried to use the EIN number in place of a social security number to get a loan, well then whatever you're getting a loan for or a credit application for, an apartment, a car, whatever, you're responsible for the taxes on that at the end of the year, because that becomes a business asset. So whereas regularly, you know, where you live at could potentially be written off, not totally, but maybe a little bit, it would be the complete opposite, I believe, if you tried to use the EIN number in place of your social. The reality of the situation is, folks, a CPN is a scam, and it's targeted toward people who are in a vulnerable situation. Bad credit, judgments, criminal convictions, felonies. It's a scam. And I want to make you guys aware of this because maybe a lot of you don't know about this. Hell, I didn't know about this totally until just the other day. So with all of that, I hope I was able to educate you guys to a certain degree on what not to do. When you're coming home, or you got some bad credit, or you got both, criminal history, bad credit, like you got the full gamut against you, it ain't going to be easy trying to find your own place. And if you're fortunate enough to find a halfway house, or a relative or a girlfriend to live with initially, that's probably going to be your best bet, and you might want to try to utilize, not use, but utilize that for as long as you possibly can until you can find your own place. But Joe, we were just talking this entire video about how hard it is to find your own place. It is. So here are some suggestions that I have for you in terms of where to look for your own place. With me doing the flipping and trying to become more real estate savvy with that sort of thing, I'm seeing that a lot of people who are doing these flips, they're renting these properties after they get done. They're buying and holding. They're holding for 2 years because they're trying to beat capital gains tax. That's an additional 15% that you pay on the profits that you make from that property if you just buy it, flip it, and sell it in like 90 days. So pretty much everybody I'm seeing, and I'm seeing it on Facebook, they are renting. They're private owner renting. Now, not every private owner is going to rent to you if you've got felony convictions or if you've got bad credit, but they're going to be more likely to do so. Why? Because they want to fill that house up. They want to be able to use the Burr method. No Birdman, no Gucci man. Who said Burr? Buy, rehab, rent, refinance. They want to get that house filled. A private owner is going to be more likely to rent to somebody in a less than ideal situation than an apartment complex or a corporate thing, a corporate company, an apartment complex owned by a corporation. And like I said, not everyone will be willing to do that, but, and this may sound stupid, this may sound cliche, this may sound just like, Joe, what? But Joe, with dealing with a private owner who's trying to get a property rented, you can talk to that person. Not everyone's going to want to hear what you got to say. They're not going to want to hear the pity party or the sob story, but you're more likely to find a solution that way. Private owner, whether it's a house or whether it's a duplex or a triplex or a quad. Yeah, I've been studying the real estate. Not only are these flippers and these real estate investors trying to hold these properties and do their own rentals, you can also owner finance houses. Now, I hate this because what these people are doing, what a lot of people are doing, is they are buying these houses, not doing any of the repairs to these houses, and putting these back on the market saying, hey, $3,000 down, $800 a month, and you got a mortgage. I'll be your bank. I'll be that baby Pat. I'll be your bank. The sad reality of this is a lot of these houses are damn near condemnable, deplorable houses, but there's an option right there. Maybe you can rehab your own home. And so long as you don't miss a beat with your payments, because I'm sure they're just waiting for you to do that, you could be on your way to owning something. Now, if none of these are viable solutions, a room for rent. Maybe you got to start there. But slowly but surely, the more that you put into trying to get a place and going about it the right way. And also, you know, make sure that you're starting to work on your credit too. Even if your credit is jammed up and it'll be forever, you got court fines and all of this, yo, try to work on that credit, because in this day and age, credit is so important. One final cliche thing that I want to mention is, you know, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is, just like with this CPN scam that I've shared with you guys. Another thing is depending upon how long ago your conviction was, if you served some time in prison, you know, usually after 5 years, an apartment complex should be willing to overlook the fact that you may have a charge that would otherwise make you unapprovable, unacceptable to rent from them. And even in that situation, if that's the route that you're trying to go, or if you feel like that's the only route through an apartment complex, try to talk to the people. If you talk to the people, it's not a guarantee that it'll work. You know, try to explain your situation a little bit. Hey, look, I made some mistakes in the past. Yes, I do got some drug sale charges, if that's what you have. I served my time. I'm working. Hopefully you are. And I just need an opportunity. You know, we did this for Danny. Danny had been locked up for 40 years. Danny had no credit history whatsoever. All he had was the money from the GoFundMe. And I went in there and talked on his behalf, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm like Jose Baez, some sort of a mega lawyer or nothing like that, but I went in there and talked on his behalf, and I said, hey, look, you know, this guy just needs a fresh start. They gave him that. They required like a double deposit, which was crazy. Double deposit, first and last month's rent. He had to pay like almost $3,000 to move into that place or something along them lines. I remember it was quite a lot, but he paid that, and he got his own place. I hope that this video was in some way insightful, educational, maybe even a little bit of entertaining as well. I want to know what you guys think of all of this, so please leave a like and a comment on this video, letting me know just that. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!